Susan L.
Thank you for joining us on the Christian Broadcasting Network. Today joining us, we have Eva Kaur telling us her survival story during World War II and her path to forgiveness. So where were you living at the time?
Me and my family were living in a small village in Romania. We were the only Jewish family in the region.
Did you expect the Nazis to come for you and your family?
I didn't expect the Nazis to come for us because my father had always told me as long as I say my prayers and did the good deeds that God wanted me to. And we lived so far away from the big city that somehow we'd escape. The Nazis wouldn't come for just 6 Jews.
Can you tell us how old you were when the Nazis came?
I was 10 years old and I was loaded onto a crowded cattle car and relocated to Auschwitz.
What was your first sight when the cattle car doors opened?
I heard a lot of Germans yelling orders. My mother's holding on to Miriam and me. Father was right beside us, along with my 2 older sisters. Everything seemed to be a dark gray, tall barbed wire. It was very strange. I said to myself, if there was a hell on earth, this must be it.
It says here that you made a pledge.
As soon as I arrived at Auschwitz, I saw 3 scattered naked bodies of children. Their bodies were shriveled, and that's when I realized the same thing couldn't happen to Miriam and I. I will not let that happen to us. The only thing I could do was make a silent pledge. I'm going to do everything in my power to not end up like those on the floor.
Were you ever experimented on by Dr. Joseph Mengele?
Doctor injected us 3 times a week with all kinds of germs and drugs and chemicals. And after one of those injections, I became unbelievably sick. So next morning, Dr. Mengele came in with 4 other doctors, and he said she only has 2 weeks to live. I refused to accept his verdict. If I would have died, my sister would have been rushed to Mengele's lab and killed, but I spoiled their experiment. I survived.
Oh, okay, so right here it says, after 9 months of experiments in captivity, you and your sister were liberated from the horrors of Auschwitz by Russian troops. Though you were held captive by a different kind of prison, one of bitterness and unforgiveness, you remained in bitterness and an unforgiving state until the 50th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz.
Yes, that's true.
Did you get angry with God?
If anyone asked if I was angry with God, I was angry with everything. God, the world, and everybody.
Do you have any advice for our viewers?
Forgive even your worst enemies. As I was standing by the ruins of the gas chamber, I was remembering all the people I was forgiving. I was forgiving the Nazis. I was forgiving Mengele. I was forgiving the people that did the experiments. I was forgiving everybody because of the fact that I had the power to forgive. It gave me an emotional freedom that was so exhilarating, so beneficial to me, that I did not have to deal with who did what to me and why. Immediately I felt that all the pain I was carrying on my little shoulders were lifted from me, that I was free. I was no longer a prisoner from my tragic past.
So it says that you now run your own Holocaust museum located in Terre Haute, Indiana, in honor of your sister Miriam, who died of cancer in the 90s. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
And thank you for watching the Christian Broadcasting Network.